Xbox's event. All right, so we can talk about Xbox's event today. So,
Let's do it.
Xbox's event today was, we talked about last week, where they were going to announce and show off gameplay for games coming to the Series X in the not-too-distant future from their third-party developers. So that's outside of their first-party lineup, obviously, and so they showed that off today. That was a really liberal use of the word gameplay. Because what we saw was not a lot of gameplay, but everything was technically in-game. There was there's no UI, there's no, actual gameplay elements from these games. It was basically just showing...
CGI cutscenes within a game.
No, they weren't even that. There was actual gameplay happening at parts, but it was not you weren't sitting down and seeing a section of the game being played.
Yeah.
In that sense. So the whole idea was apparently was to show what you could expect visually from the third-party games, but they were also denoting throughout this thing when it was a game that was going to be enhanced for the Series X, which meant it's a game being developed as you can expect. We're in between console generations. The first part of the library for any new console is mostly a hybrid of releases that work on the old systems and then also the new. That's what we were seeing here. So we were seeing games that were how they were going to look on the Series X, even though they were being developed primarily for the Xbox One, for example. That's usually even more so the case with third party because they have to develop for multiple platforms to make their money back. The first real set of Series X specific games you'll see are likely going to be when they show the first party games off because that's the in-house shit that they're working to make. They would make in-house ones would more likely make games for the Series X primarily that they would backwards compatible with the Xbox One instead of making a game for the Xbox One that is forwards compatible with the Series X. So they showed off. I got a little list of games here. So the first game was Scorn. I'm not going to lie to you. It was literally just a bunch of references to childbirth in this trailer that was very odd, very gray. And then there was literally a dripping penis at one point. I'm not fucking with you. If you want to see it, Scorn trailer, dripping penis, 100% there.
Penis
it is
Scorn trailer.
It is there. Scorn. It was just dicks everywhere, bro. Dicks
Nothing
and just uteruses and just birthing babies. I mean, you'll see the first 5 seconds it's a dick, and then it cuts back to it later, and it's dripping. I'll wait for you to.
I see a skull here.
Yep.
Just gotta wait for the penis.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me see here. What is this?
It's very phallic. You'll notice it very...
Okay.
Very, yeah.
I don't see a penis yet. Okay, it's moving down. Oh. No penis yet.
Wait for it.
Oh, something's poking out.
There we go. All right.
At the penis. Was that a penis? Was that a futuristic penis? Oh. It's a dude walking. Oh, there it is. It's not very big.
No.
Oh, jeez. It's actually dripping. Oh, my God. It's a leaky hose.
There it is. I told you.
It's got little alien foreskin on it, too. Little drip. Look at that leak. Oh, it's actual semen.
Yes,
it did the thing. It did the thing. When dogs got the little red rocket that comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
bro.
They just started spewing out little tiny. That's gross.
So that was a thing.
Ooh.
So that was the first game they showed. It was the first game right off the bat. You just got some penis. Okay. This is it was a strong start for Xbox getting the dick out. Then we had Bright Memory, which is actually I think that was the first one, actually, Bright Memory. Either way. Bright Memory, game that's already on Steam in a small form, made by one dude. It's an action shooter game that looks pretty cool. Has liberal use of like a grapple arm type thing. You can pull enemies towards you. There was like dismemberment, and then at one point there was a DeLorean, like
Ooh.
Back to the Future DeLorean.
Wow.
So that was weird. So that's a thing. Corvs was the next one. I can't even remember what the fuck that game was about, but the name on its own, CHORVS, tells you everything you need to know about whatever the fuck that was. Dirt 5 was shown off. The racing game. Guess what it looked like?
Dirt.
Forza Horizon. In fact, I thought it was fucking not Dirt. I thought it was Grid, because it looked like Grid. And then I was like, oh, maybe this is another Forza game. And then it was like, oh no, it's just Dirt masquerading as Forza. Madden 21, because we need to know that Madden 21 is coming. And guess what they did, Jeff? They showed off for like 9,000th time the classic showing like Madden for the NES, and then the next game, and then the SNES, and then coming all the way up, and then like the last 5 that they show all look the fucking same.
All identical.
It's
all identical. We
didn't really play into like what they were going for there. Like the last like 5 all looked the fucking same. It was very strange. But yeah, Madden. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, which is the sequel to one of the longest game titles in history. Looked like a game. Terrible animation. I'll say that much. Just fucking awful animation. But you know, the original game, very popular, critically relatively well received, so people are excited. Call of the Sea was a new one. That's an adventure game. Kind of looks, I don't want to say it looks like Sea of Thieves, but it's a similar aesthetic. It's an adventure game. Looked like it might even be like a bit puzzle adventure-y. But it looked really cool. It looked really nice, and the music was good. So Call of the Sea was that one. That was something to maybe take a look at the trailer if you're interested. The Ascent was the next one. Ascending, Jeff. We're going places and we're going up. I called it Budget Punk because it looked like a budget cyberpunk, but it's not a first-person kind of deal. It almost looks like XCOM Combat.
Yeah, I saw that one.
You did see that one? Yeah. It doesn't look bad. It just looks. No. It's what it tells me is that cyberpunk is going to be the theme for probably the next 3 years, where we just see assloads
futuristic
cyberpunk dystopian whatever the fuck is what we're getting. I know we're already in the midst of it now, but it tells me that we're gonna get more now.
Like Blade Runner 2049 type shit.
Yeah. The next up was Medium was the name of the game, and it's a psychological horror. The original composer for Silent Hill is on board for this one, which is cool. It looked great. This one actually had a lot of in-game gameplay. You could tell it had no UI, but it's a horror game, so you know what to expect. It just doesn't have a UI, so you could see kind of what the game was looking like. Visually, looked fantastic. I think it's made by a studio in Poland, but yeah, looked great. And but it is almost exactly Silent Hill's concept, except in Silent Hill, where it was the location, and then every time the alarm went off, it was like shit went to hell kind of thing. You know, it's like the real world and then Silent Hill kind of thing. The catalyst for this one is the woman is a medium, like a psychic, and so when she has like breaks or she's seeing shit or whatever, we're now real world, mirror world type shit. Yeah, that's how they're doing it. I'm okay with that. As long as it's good, it's whatever. Nothing new is there's nothing new under the sun at this point. But if it's done well, then that's fine. I was kind of excited for it because a new team getting in on psychological horror.
Hey,
I'm there for it.
If this is as close you can get to Silent Hill, take it.
Danger close, including the composer at that point. We're edging ever closer to it. Next up was Scarlet Nexus, which is just the full-blown weeb game that, I gotta be honest, looked like ass. Not visually it looked fine, but the game just did not look interesting at all. It looked derivative and boring, and the voice acting for the English side, let's just say that you're going to want to leave, if you play this game, leave it in Japanese. Next up, everyone got debated, Jeff. If I told you that we were going to get a fucking new next-gen Turok game, would that be something that you go, fuck yeah, I'd play some Turok?
No.
Really?
Yeah, really.
I thought that was like an easy setup. Like, Turok, really? Like, I mean, Turok is fucking good shit.
Yeah, it's a good classic game, but I ain't looking for no Turok action.
I debated myself on that one then. Well, either way, I thought it was a Turok game, how it started, and in the trailer, but as it turns out, it just looks like a fucking, like a, what do they call them? Horde, horde mode in games where like just more and more enemies just coming at you.
More waves come.
The whole trailer was essentially horde mode with dinosaurs, is what it looked like.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really not interested.
Yeah, no, I checked out after I realized it wasn't Turok. I really checked out. But it was even more so checking out when I realized that it just looked like horde mode. It's just not for me. After that, we got and that was called Second Extinction was the name of that game. The next up was Yakuza, which is a very popular game, obviously. Yakuza, the series in general. This is a new spin-off called Yakuza Like a Dragon, is what it's called. Game looked good. All the Yakuza games are actually very well done, and so that was a good one for them to have. That's one of those games where I don't know if I doubt it's an exclusive to the Xbox, but just having it is good for the Xbox Series X as far as hopefully making headway in Japan, because Xbox just cannot fucking make headway in Japan. And then the last one was more Assassin's Creed, Vikings, the TV show, the movie, the game adaptation, the video game.
Yeah.
Which we saw some gameplay in there insofar as that, again, no UI, slowed down, trailery looking shit, but it was in-game. You could tell it's in-game models. They're not spicing it up. They just made a trailer with in-game graphics. And it looked good. But it also just looked like another fucking action game with nothing new to offer. So we'll have to wait and see what more they can bring to the table. Because as always, it's just like, hey, like I mentioned last week, it's like Assassin's Creed has been reduced to, let's make an action game in whatever era we want to, and we're going to call it Assassin's Creed because the main character is going to have a hidden blade on their arm. And that's kind of where Assassin's Creed is now. I'm still trying to get over the fact that trailer that we watched last week
hasn't been sued?
Almost frame for frame.
It's actually Vikings. It's actually Vikings.
It's crazy.
Like if they said it was Vikings the video game, I would have been like, wow, okay,
looks like
yes.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a game. So that was it. That was it for that third-party stuff. They did announce that the first-party stuff, they're going to have an event for the first-party releases, where they will also likely for the first time show off Halo Infinite, is July. So July is the time frame for that, where we'll get all the first-party stuff to look at. And that will be exciting, because that will have likely more content, like I said, that was more specifically designed for the Series X. And everyone, myself included, is sitting here thinking, even if you're not interested in Halo, we're getting so close to Halo Infinite's release, and we haven't seen a single video, really, beyond that trailer ages ago that showed nothing. Yeah. And everyone knows that we talked about on the podcast, they had people like leaving the team and shit was just fucking all over the place. So July, that's the Thunderdome for Microsoft. For that first party show off. However, you know what? Despite the fact that this wasn't huge in terms of like everything being amazing, there were a couple of gems in there that look like they might be something to keep tabs on. And more importantly, it's better than not showing anything at all, which Sony still has not shown a damn thing. I don't understand, Jeff. However, Jeff Keighley is going to force their hand because they're on that list. So we're seeing something eventually. It's coming. Jeff Keighley's going to make it happen. We just gotta
make it happen.
We gotta have faith in Jeff Keighley. Save us, Jeff. And maybe save Sony at the same time, because whatever the fuck they're doing is freaking weird right now.